Madam Clerk.
Trustee Larry Brown, and Mayor Cummings.
Present. All join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
But Mayor, I did ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to table the reading of the minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
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 Trustee Williams? Aye. Trustee Oscar Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Payton?
Aye.
Trustee Griffin?
Votes aye.
Trustee Ruggiero?
Votes aye to table the minutes.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye. Elected officials. Manager's report.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I have one,
Okay.
if I could. Would just like to report on the international conference of the municipal clerks that I attended last month in Milwaukee. It was once again awesome. I mean, really, really awesome. When we go to our institute for our training, believe it or not, we are standing in. So we're not just there for fun and games. We're there for the education. We're there for the quality of education and for networking with clerks from all over the United States and this year from 10 foreign countries. We focus a lot on leadership training, on government, on records, retention and destruction, the FOIA Act, Freedom of Information, Open to Meeting Act, but mostly on leadership. We have dynamic speakers who are world renowned. This year, one of our featured speakers was Michelle Ray, who's been making circuits as a motivational speaker. And her latest book is Lead Yourself First. So we do focus a lot on leadership and sharing and serving with neutrality and impartially our community and how to be the best that we can. One of our speakers, Dr. D, he spoke on, his title was, "It's Hard to Get Spaghetti Sauce Off the Ceiling." So if we think about some of these things, it has a lot to do with thinking before we speak. Look at all of the components that make up a situation and try not to be biased, but to think what you say. It's kind of like you can't unring a bell and you can't unbreak a glass. So words have that same effect. So those are just some of the things. Also, earlier this month, I had finished my two terms as president of the municipal clerks of the South and Southwest suburbs. So I was honored to swear in a new board and to be able to take a backseat for the next couple of years with that organization. And with our Will Grundy Clerks Association, this past Thursday, I was honored to swear in the incoming board of directors for that organization that had kind of been defunct for the last 2 or 3 years. But again, we're up and running and anxious to get a lot of things done. Thanks again to the board for its support and to this community for all of its support. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Trustee Williams.
Thank you. Hello, I'd like to.
Test.
Okay, I'd like to explain to my residents that been asking me questions about this head tax. Well, I would like to let you know that I refuse to raise taxes on the residents. I am for the head tax. Yes, I did vote for the head tax. I'm sorry, what did you say? Oh, I thought you were talking. I did vote for it because I feel that the industrial area should contribute to the things that we need here in University Park. And I just want everybody to know why I did it, because I'm asked all the time, why? Now, another thing, I would like to explain the things that I know is that Larry Brown, Vivian Covington, and Milton Payton belongs to CCC, and that stands for Concerned Citizens Committee. They are the ones that brought this committee to the village, and those are the ones that's inciting people to come in to attack the 4 trustees. And I want to let you know that I am for the village. I am for the people who's in this village. There's a lot of things that I don't come out and say. I'm not verbal like that. I'm a doer. I like to work. All of this stuff that's coming to me is really, really, it's tiring and it's getting you down when I want to build this committee up. I have heard people come back to me and let me know that the 3 of these trustees are going around here inciting people for witch hunts to come up here to attack us, even going as far as going over to the industrial park, getting people, telling people this is our leader, telling people not to pay the head tax. And all of it. This doesn't make sense. The residents should not get this on them. We have industrial park. They should contribute to this town. There's a lot of stuff that we need here, and I think that they would be better off paying for some of this stuff than the residents' taxes going up again. And I'll fight for that until the end. Also, I'd like you to know that Milton Payton, he said he's not for the head tax. Vivian Covington said she's not for the head tax. And Larry Brown, he's not for the head tax. But you know what he wanted to do? He wanted to raise your liquor, put a tax on your liquor. He wants to put a tax on your gasoline. He wants to put a tax on your cigarettes. And he said that'll last forever. Okay, I am not for that. As you can see, he's not here tonight. I don't know why, so I'm not going to assume it. But these are the things I like for my residents to know, because they come up and they asking me these things, I'm going to tell you what I know. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trustee Milton Payton.
Yes, thank you. Just. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Trustee Oscar Brown, Jr. for lending me your microphone. I'd just like to comment on a couple of things. As usual, what you see and the reason why so much of our community is upset is because of the inaccuracies and the misleading statements that are provided by some of the trustees here. Now, Trustee Elizabeth Williams just said that it was I that brought the concerned citizens to University Park to start a whole lot of mess. Well, the fact of the matter is, the concerned citizens have been around for almost 20 years. And the reason, and you know, I participated for a brief while, probably 18 years ago with them. The reason they started in the first place is because the residents were real upset with a lot of what was happening in the village. So they band together, got a mayor elected, got a number of trustees elected, and the village started operating
more in tune, in harmony with its citizens. After a while, since the village was more in tune with the citizens, it kind of faded into the woodwork. Now, recently, with Trustee Williams, Trustee Oscar Brown Jr., Trustee Griffin, and Trustee Rudez now commanding the board, they are upset. Not just the head tax. And when you say, I went over to the industrial park to stir folks up, that's a total lie. I had absolutely nothing to do with the industrial park coming to these meetings. We're going to have a meeting with the industrial park to establish a better relationship with them, but that hasn't even happened yet. Okay? And yeah, I think it's a bad idea. We heard them for ourselves. They came to this meeting. I had nothing to do with that, to complain about the head tax. So, again, evidently, somebody's real worried that the citizens are not sitting around anymore just taking all the stuff that's being laid down. They're upset about it. So, don't say it's just me. Yeah, I am a proud participant, and I'm proud to be involved with the concerned citizens because I am concerned about what's going on in this village. And the concerned citizens meet the second and fourth Saturdays of each month, 11 o'clock, right next to PK's Pantry on the corner there of Western and University Parkway. So they would welcome your participation. In fact, it's serving as kind of an umbrella organization because the 4 trustees here, Trustee Williams, Trustee Oscar Brown Jr., Trustee Griffin, and Trustee Rudez, eliminated a lot of the things that the people wanted and were doing as volunteers for this village. They're upset about that. I'm upset about it. And I'm going to continue to do whatever I need to do to try to make this community a better place to live. And so I will call out the hypocrisy when I see it. When you say we need the money from the head tax to do things in the village, and you turn around and chase away, for example, a black developer, when we say we need black jobs for our folks here, who wasn't asking for anything, and it was a state-of-the-art senior citizens building that would have generated probably about $300,000 in revenue. It's hypocrisy. It's politics at its worst. Because Bill Smith, who Mr. Gamble brought to the village to build a senior citizens home, came to one of the trustees here, to my right, and asked why did they vote it down? Because there was no good basis for it. And he was told, well, you brought it to the wrong trustee. He brought it to Trustee Larry Brown, his next door neighbor. His next door neighbor. A friend of his for a number of years. An opportunity for this community, our senior citizens. And we kicked them to the curb without any good reason. Because unlike the so-called justification that they gave the University Village project about the public-private partnership, there was no request for any special incentives. And they would have hired University Park residents. There would have been an ancillary commercial as part of that. And more importantly, our senior citizens would have had an alternative to Thornwood House. So yeah, I'm going to continue to call out this awful hypocrisy that we have here, which in my opinion is simply an attempt to get just reelected. That's the end of my comments right now.
sorry, anyone else? No. Anyone else? Okay, managers report.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, co-workers, and residents. My report is very brief. Staff continues to spend a lot of time, energy in preparing for our 2011 audit. We expect auditors to be out in the next few weeks. We've worked on several road projects which we previously reported on. And lost my train of thought with that last report.
Good, wasn't it?
We do have one new initiative that we're working on, myself along with Community Affairs Manager, which he may elaborate on, and that's creating a job bank. You know, we have noted as we prepare, we're reviewing our TIF returns right now. In conjunction with reviewing the TIF returns, we always go back and review the agreement, so we know that one responsibility that the village had was to create a job bank and keep these keep these resumes on file, so that the industrial park concerns can come to us first for their employees. So as we're reviewing it, we're trying to create the job bank, and I'm sure that Mr. Bell will elaborate on that more. It's a very new project for us. That concludes my report, Mayor.
I have a question.
Question?
Just a second, you want to go first?
Trustee Perez.
Manager Lanier, I just have one question. I was just driving down University Parkway and I saw at one time that the flags on the Veterans Memorial were removed. Was there any particular reason why that incident occurred or what's going on with that? As a veteran, I'm kind of concerned. I'm very concerned about what was going on with the memorial.
I'm uncertain why they were removed also. When I noticed that they were down, I asked our Public Works wants to talk about it a little bit. And I asked them why were they down, and we asked if they'd be put back up immediately. So go ahead, Jerry.
Hello, everyone. The flags was taken down to be replaced on it was old, and I had new flags to put up. And in doing that, we got into a discussion, and it became the end of the day. And I told the guys we just put them up the next morning. It wasn't no big deal.
So we just basically replace the flags then?
Yeah, they were back.
Good. Okay. That's all.
And then we need to replace some of the poles as well. I see they're tattering as well. It's a disgrace.
Thank you. That's all.
Trustee?
I actually had a few questions for you about Manager Lanier. I know it's a bit early, seeing how the start of summer has just occurred. However, it's never too early to think about our salt and our salt storage. I was wondering, how are we preparing for the winter for this year in regards to salt?
That is a good question. I have to review that with the Public Works Director and the consultant. Right now, they're so focused on cutting grass and making sure we have an accurate list of vacant homes and those sort of things. But I think a lot of energy is put in that. We normally do address that around August, September.
All right, it's good. Well, it's never too early to think about it. Winter will come again, but let's enjoy the summer while it's here. Next question I have, I submitted a list to you and Mr. Townsend in regards to major road improvements that need to be made from our first distribution. How's that coming along?
The initial report, the costs were very high. We can talk to you about it later. We've looked at an alternative as far as the cost of the regrind for those three roads is much higher than the fund is generated at this point. We will make some improvements on the guardrails on that report, and expensive those things to be done. So we'll pull it together for you before the end of the week.
All right. Thank you. I believe that'll be all for now. Thank you, Manager.
Manager Lanier, since the holidays are approaching quite fast, maybe our fire department and our police department can talk about fireworks usage in the community, because the 4th is like a week away, and if the people don't know who are in town or who people are moving into town, maybe the fire department can speak to it, or the chief of police can speak to our firework ordinance.
Very good. We start with the fire department since they kind of signed for those things.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I can absolutely be of assistance on language on fireworks, especially on the safety aspect of it. A couple of years ago, We did basically a public service announcement with the cable studio. We can do something like that again in the next few weeks. That's not a problem there. I don't have any specific language in front of me on what the actual ordinance says, but that can definitely be researched, added into that program, along with general other safety tips that we can throw in there and find on the internet. Provide them with, supplemental info that they can look up and have on hand for themselves in the house. And of course, if they have any questions for us, they can contact us anytime, whether by phone or just stopping in at the fire station.
Sure.
Yeah, just a follow-up on that, Chief, because the 4th of July is really next Friday, not this Friday, but the following Friday, so if we wait a couple of weeks, we won't be able to get the information out. Just for the audience that may see this program, fireworks are illegal, correct, in Illinois?
I believe so. The legality of it would definitely be a question for the police department to make sure that they get the accurate information on that.
Right. And what is particularly dangerous, I know, are these skyrockets that are sent up, because we found them, in yards, on roofs, that kind of thing, and it could be a real fire hazard. So, it's dangerous for young people to even use firecrackers, because you can blow your fingers off or be blinded or otherwise maimed by using firecrackers.
Yeah, believe it or not, what we had found is essentially the cheapest ones you find can be the most dangerous. Bottle rockets are number one, and believe it or not, something simply as sparklers. When those things are lit, they can retain heat for hours. They can burn up to 1,000 degrees. They can light fires even after they've gone out and they're simply discarded in a trash can. You can find a fire there several hours later. So we'll get working on some language and some handouts and stuff this week, and we'll get it out as soon as possible.
Okay. And I know the sparklers, you mentioned the sparklers are really fun. I mean, I used to do it when I was a kid, but you can be easily blinded also by playing with those sparklers.
Absolutely. One of the major draws of fireworks is the light that's displayed and the colors and everything. And if they're held, improperly too close to someone's face, if they're not used in a safe manner with adult supervision, the chances of injury and disaster increase, a lot.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Trustee Rudess for bringing that up with the 4th being so close by.
I think Chief Brandon.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, for business. Bottom line is fireworks are illegal. There's a reason why they're illegal. People get hurt, people die, a lot of children get hurt with those. Fires get started, and they should only be used by licensed professionals. That's the key thing, licensed professionals. And we know that we're real close to Indiana. We're readily accessible. We advise everyone not to use them. They are illegal, and that's what we'll look at if we receive a call.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for the manager? I have some. As far as that job bank, Mr. Bell, John would have some information on that because we started that about 2 years ago, and she would have that. Mr. Muir probably forgot about that. And we were looking at the job bank and getting information from people on that, so we could put it in, so that would be great. RTA asked Trustee Oscar Brown. There was a grant that I was working with the RTA organization, and there's $1 million there, but right now it's on hold because of DECO. But however, I talked to the engineers, and they're going to be able to push this grant, and it will work for streets and curbs and parks. I'll let you know. So I'll give you an update as soon as we think we can break through that. Questions from the village manager. Did we do anything to follow up on that theft and public works? The ongoing theft.
The thefts are pretty much stopped. We have done something very substantial to make sure that they don't continue something that we really don't want to talk about on camera. And it's very, I will certainly give you a call.
Okay.
pushing it to the loop.
I appreciate that. Also, I was reading another newspaper, various newspapers around surrounding suburbs, and it would be nice, I noticed that they display and I know many people have asked about robocall, but then they not only announce that, they tell who they are, where they live, and the crime they prevent, that they have committed. So I would like to hear that, because if someone says a house has just been robbed, someone could look out their door and say, yes, I see it, they just came down my street. So we wish the robocall, I know City Fields is great with that, and that helps a lot. So if we can get on that program, that would be really, really nice, that we can help each other around the village look out for certain things. Trash pickup in the parks. It's apparent that someone is dumping trash, and I've been noticing this every weekend. And it's located around our golf course. It's around our golf course. It's up and down University Parkway at the very end, going towards the golf course. I know a long time ago they were talking about reviewing the bags, splitting them open to see if there was any information. I think they're dumping their own garbage bags out there. And I saw a gentleman, and I don't know who you are, I don't know if you live in this village or not, but this guy, they put them all by the golf course, Governor's State, and he treated it up. It was just terrible. So, I don't know what to say. It's happening on Saturdays and Sundays. Someone's really dumping them out. And I know our public works, you look on Friday, they clean everything up. It's beautiful. Then you see all this trash. When I'm on our church on Sundays, going that way, and Saturday evenings, it's there. So, just to let you know.
We have the police department be vigilant in the area.
Yes, appreciate that. Thank you. Waiting on the job postings, you said you were going to give me a copy of that. I would like to know where they're posted in the requirements. And are there any other positions that will be posted soon? Because people are calling saying we have the job availabilities. We're done for the summer hiring every department?
Pretty much so.
Okay.
You know, we kind of started the golf course due to the catastrophe. Parks and Rec, they do that very early in the year.
Right.
Only pick up 2 or 3 people.
Okay. All right, is the kitchen up and working now?
And the kitchen's not up and working. We're expecting to see the fire inspector out on Thursday morning to give us hopefully to give us a go ahead and we'll get the new equipment in as soon as possible. We'll keep you posted.
Okay, thank you. I know you said something about the audits, but I have sent John an email and said that I'd like to do a recap and have a meeting with the board members. We get together and talk about those audits, the budget, and a recap of things. So, okay, that's it. That's all I have. Yes. Mayor's report. Saturday morning, a lot of the mayors in the surrounding areas, we have a monthly meeting, and we met sometimes more than monthly, and we met with Commissioner Tony Cartmichael and the South Suburban mayors, and also Commissioner Sims. And the various topics concerning support of our goals, economic development, our concerns for our communities, being redline, water main issues, most importantly was the concerns I brought up on the transition of the city of suburbs. This is having a great impact on our budget. We were not equipped to support nor accommodate their needs, all the special needs. We were given more people, however, these resources did not follow when we are in need of special educational programs, facilities, and that were offered in the city are not instituted here. We need police officers, more police officers. We're not equipped to handle all that. In various summer programs, including training and jobs, we were told that this would be researched and followed up with the results of the mayors. So we're supposed to meet again when she reviews that and come back. This conversation is only solidifying my point of an action taken this weekend. Someone purposely threw a pool ball, through the bus shelter right here, town center, in the glass portion. I was so disappointed. I went home, got a broom and pan, and cleaned it up. And shortly after, 3 officers saw me in the rain and assisted me. And I want to give special thanks, Chief, to 3 of your men that were so great. Jacob, 483, Wayne, 488, and Gerbert, 484. Please, community, keep in mind the safety issues of our village and our residents. There is a visual impaired person that takes this new vehicle when he uses the public transportation. And transportation not only the children, some kid could have said it was a pile of glass. we filled up a garbage can. I know it was going to rain, I couldn't stand it. It's a safety issue. We should work together. All the departments need to work together. If someone sees it, they say, see something, say something. You see something, do something. Okay? And we got the glass up, and I had him to put tape up there, and we picked up the off. This is it. This is what they used. It was on the ground. They bashed it through. It was in, and the officers saw it in the grass. Well, we couldn't get prints off because it was wet. Well, what's the problem? What are we doing with our kids? What are we teaching them? Who is out here? This is what I'm talking about. You put one bad apple in a bunch, it'll rotten them all. We need to really work with what's going on out here. We need to really work with the parents. The parents can step up, know where their kids are, what they're doing, and just destroying property. This is the second shelter that they destroyed. Someone is walking around just destroying the village. And we're trying to get people to come into the village. And when they see things like that, it's terrible. And departments, if you see something, everybody just go clean it up. Departments. And I thank God for the police officers, but I would expect our departments to see things like that and then go and pick it up. We shouldn't have to do that. And I was away, and I also, Clerk D. Jones, had the honor, Kevin Johnson, which is head of Black Mayors, I was appointed the chairman of the African American Women of Council. I'm the new chairperson nationally of African American nationally. And I was very grateful and honored and humbly accepted that position. And that's my report. Committee and commissions report.
I'll just make a quick mention of a committee meeting, which is the Legislative and Operations Committee meeting. Now, if the residents would like to come out, we meet every first Monday of the month at 6 p.m. here at the 90 Town Center. Our next meeting is scheduled for July 7th at 6 p.m. If you want to come out and see how democracy is worked out on how things are done and how arguments and things that shouldn't be in front of the camera are done, this is the perfect venue to come out, guys, witness and check it out. Bring your input, your advice, your do's, your don'ts, your opinions. It's a great venue to get these things taken care of prior to coming to a board meeting. So again, I extended an invitation to everyone to come out to our Legislative and Operations Committee meeting, which is held every Monday here at 6 p.m. And the next one is July 7th, 2014 at 6 p.m. And that will be all my updates.
Any other committee commission reports?
Report.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say that we're not where we're trying to not let things fall by the wayside. Since our trip to Vegas, Manager Lanier and I are still in talks with about 4 different companies. Hopefully, we can have something soon to bring to the board and the village to let you know that it's done. But I'm not going to say nothing until they sign on the dotted line. But we are still in talks with 4 different companies. Thank you.
Anybody else? Reports of the officers.
Yes.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents. A couple announcements from Park and Rec. Just wanted to personally take this opportunity to thank the Mayor and the Board and Village Manager Lanier. We do have our AC. It has been installed and put up, so the kids will be extremely happy. Also, we will be having our Day Camp Talent Show. The kids are super excited. They've been practicing, singing, and dancing. That day will be here at the 90 Town Center on Thursday, July 3rd at 1 p.m. So if you are interested, we would love to have you come out. Our second session for day camp will be starting on Monday, July 8th. So if you have any children that you would like to sign them up, please feel free to. We did reach our first session goal, which was a total of 55 day campers. Special thanks to the Illinois Action for Children, Title 20 funds, and the Before and After School program. So if parents, if you have children that are in those classifications, please feel free to call our office. Because one of the goals that we're trying to do is expand our Before and After School program, not just to host it in the Coretta Scott King, but to have another site over at Regal Farm for children that are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. The other announcement I do have is we will start our swim lessons. It is very, very important, residents, to get the kids started early as swimmers. One of the problems that we run into is when we look for lifeguards, it is very hard to get young people that are truly swimmers. The requirement for swimmers to qualify to be a lifeguard is 20 laps. Some only can make it 2 laps. So we highly recommend parents that you come. The class will start this Saturday, June 28th at 10 a.m. You're more than welcome to go to the pool now and get the information. But in order for us to continue to employ residents as lifeguards, we need them to know how to swim and really be able to receive the required license that's needed to be lifeguards. And last but not least, thank you so much. Ms. Townsend's program was really nice. Pine Lake is officially, the washroom is officially open. We have now a total of 14 rentals. Now we're getting ready to do a big wedding on July 4th. The pool has reached a max of every weekend. We have private rentals. We have a total of 18 campers. So special thanks to the entire Park and Rec staff for a job well done.
Very good.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes. Madam Mayor, members of the board, Madam Clerk, 2 basic things I'd like to announce. One is that the village will host and hold its 47th annual Back to School Family Flame on Saturday, August 2nd, 2014 at Palmer Park. The parade there'll be a parade and other events that will include entertainment for children, entertainment for adults actually also. Food will be served. I think the food will be free for children between noon and 2, is it? There'll be entertainment available for everybody, and I think at the end of the event, after the sun goes down, there will be an outdoor movie that will be played for everyone to enjoy. I don't know what the movie is, I don't know if it's been selected or not, but a movie will be shown for everyone to enjoy to close out our family flame thrust back to school for all our children. The next item, and I think this is extraordinarily important, and that is in reference to the job fair. As a result of careful and tedious review of our TIF agreements, Mr. Lanier discovered that there is a responsibility that University Park has of developing a job bank. That should include, and we're doing that, we started that process now, but we're continuing that process as the mayor has just informed us. That is not an isolated responsibility. That is a responsibility that is part of a joint responsibility. The other part of that joint responsibility is the responsibility that the members or the businesses in the industrial park that benefit from TIF agreements have expressly which is expressed in the TIF agreements, that they're supposed to do everything they can to achieve 100% employment of University Park residents. We are to be working hand in hand with the industrial park residents to achieve 100% employment for for University Park residents. It is the responsibility of the businesses who benefit from the TIF agreements to work with us to employ eligible University Park residents who are looking for jobs. It is a very important responsibility that we have to make our job bank accurate. We have to keep it up to date. I am requesting that everyone who seeks employment in University Park prepare a resume and make certain that you get it to the Department of Community Relations. You can do that by dropping it off at Village Hall or at the offices of the Department of Community Relations, which is number 8 Town Center. And please make certain that your resume is complete. I am in the process of developing forms to go with those resumes so that we can complete, or we can present when necessary, a full package of qualified prospective employees when jobs open up in the industrial park. I think from my first reading of some of the agreements, I think the way it's supposed to work is when jobs become available in the industrial park, we are to be notified. We are to review our resumes in our job bank and try to match qualified residents with those at those open positions, or at least present a number of candidates that are qualified for those open positions. It is a joint responsibility that we have and that the residents of the industrial park have. It's critical that those of you who are working or who are looking for employment present their resumes to me, to the village, so that we can complete and have an accurate job bank, so that we can assist you, so that you can assist us. It's a lot easier for us to, if we didn't have so much unemployment, we wouldn't have so many vacant homes. Folks would lose their homes. We would have more money in taxes without having to raise taxes. It's a vicious cycle that we gotta break, and we can do it if we work together. Thank you.
Mr. Bell, thank you. I have a correction. When we started Family Flame, I think there was a misunderstanding there. We were celebrating not having, this is 47 years that University Park has been here, not 47 years of Family Flame. So maybe there's a misunderstanding on that. That's a correction. And
It's very possible that
yes, that's okay. That's all right. I just want to say that, clarify that. And as far as this, do you think maybe it would be better, since we've been screaming for an HR person, which is not in the budget? I'm a little, maybe they can give you some information in their names maybe, but to give their resumes, which give a lot of background, personal information, social security numbers and that's more designed for our HR person or whoever doing that right now. Because that's kind of scaling in a narrow way for me. I don't know, it's not, it might not be illegal, but it could be unethical. But I know for sure, I can't even send out a social security number. It'll block me. It has to be encrypted. You can't just, social security numbers and you having that data brings a little uncomfortability for me. I would think maybe they can just say, these are the jobs they're looking for, and give you the name and phone number maybe. But to give HR duties over there like that, you're looking for, it's kind of. I'm talking to someone here about
the actual form that all of this will take is a no. I don't need to have the information. I don't know. It
any, but I would have to have it personally. It can be kept by Mr. Lanier,
Right.
it can be kept by anybody. What we need though is the name of the eligible candidates for the positions that come open in University Park. And we need to stress that it is the responsibility of the businesses in the University Park to hire our eligible and qualified
Right,
candidates.
I read the agreements, and they had a percentage, that's, I don't know about 100%, but I know they said a percentage in some of the stipulated.
If my recollection is correct, my reading of it was that the percentage that was indicated was 100.
All of them? All the
Of the agreements that I reviewed, maybe I can say I'm new, I'm
Right,
very
it's
new.
okay. Yeah, but not all.
Maybe no, manager can speak.
All right, that's, okay, thank you. Any others? Okay. Start the board meeting here. Discussion of unfinished business, new business. First and second. Sorry. I asked if there are any others. Oh, sorry. Okay. First one, Mr. Robert Travis.
And just to very quickly, many of you have heard this many times, but our system is to take 30, no more than 30 minutes unless the board waives it, and to, I understand, and to ask people to hold their comments to 3 minutes, and we will try to time you.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees. As response to Trustee Elizabeth's responses, I've been a member of the Concerned Citizens for 20 years, and we don't send people over to the industrial park and tell them not to pay taxes. We've never done that. And it's the Concerned Citizens of University Park means all the trustees, everybody in University Park can come and join and ask questions. Okay, and another quick reason what we do is that we send people to the board meeting and ask questions of things we discuss at our committee meetings. We don't try to trash nobody. That's one. Another question is the head tax. A lot of the industrial park owners came over here and asked how long will the head tax be enforced and what projects that the tax will be designated for. And I didn't get the answer. I don't know if you guys have worked that out yet. Question 2 is since the committee ordinances was repealed, we're still looking for a public workshop to explain the changes in the committees and commissions. People still don't understand what's going on. Another question is, one of the Concerned Citizens members were passing out the flyers, and he was approached by the code enforcer and was told that he was soliciting. And he called the police over there, and when the police department came over there, read the flyer and left. I think you should get him well informed with the difference between passing out flyers and soliciting. I understand that the community-wide garage sale banner was taken down for some reason. I don't know why. It shouldn't have been done. Also, is about the golf course kitchen that was burned. I'd like to know is does the golf course kitchen have the same insurance as the village facilities? Okay. One more thing, one minute. Toastmasters had a District 30 conference last Saturday. One of the things we like to promote is try to get members to join Toastmasters. People who speak to the public all the time should join Toastmasters because they teach you how to speak. Even though, you may be nervous and unable to speak, but they teach you. So you should join. We got one in Park Forest, we got one in University Park, we got one in the church over there. So please join. We're looking for more members. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please.
Mr. Travis, I'd like to correct you. I did not say the Concerned Citizens went over there to the industrial park and told them not to pay any taxes. I said Vivian Compton, our mayor, went over there and they told them, not the Concerned Citizens. I said that Vivian Compton started up again the Concerned Citizens. That's what I said. I did not say nothing about the people walking over there saying.
Well, she's with the Concerned Citizens. So,
Pardon?
therefore,
Well, I'm not going to get into a debate with you. I made are true. That's what I'm saying. If this is our leader,
Mr. James Young.
Thank you, Mayor Covington. I certainly hope that my presence here will bring cordiality among us. This evening, I want to share with you a resource as I comment. I'm here as a private citizen. I'm here as a resident of our community, the same as the majority of you are. I'm also here as a elected public official because I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of the University Park Library, as well as being a representative of Moline Township government. So, Mayor Covington, thank you for allowing me this opportunity, members of the board, department heads, and those of you listening under the sound of my voice. Last month, School District 201U held a community forum in this very building. And as I sat in the audience and I heard the many different comments that was made, one of the things that stood out most to me was the issue of our children having academic problems. Well, there was a parent that approached the podium and she shared with the school district board that she had a child that was receiving after-school tutoring in a class with a number of other students that the teacher couldn't possibly get to everyone present. And that she felt at a disadvantage because her kid was not doing very well in school. Well, I'm here to share with you that University Park has a rich resource. And the same thing that I shared with the parent the night of that meeting. There is no reason for any of our children to be failing in reading, math, or any foreign language. Now, I don't know whether or not that parent took advantage of the conversation that I had with her at the end of that meeting. Time was of the essence. I did not get an opportunity to share it with the board as a complete body. However, last week, I went to the school board meeting in Greek, and I shared with them that the University Park Library has a website that has 2 resources on it that's accessible to any student at any time, 24/7. All they need is a computer and access to the internet. There is a reading tutorial program, there is a math tutorial program, and there is also a foreign language tutorial program. And I'm of the opinion that it's not all about upper management intervention or spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to create new manpower or pay someone to do individual tutoring. Sometimes I'm just of the opinion that all you have to do is take advantage of the resources we currently have. And we in University Park do have that resource. I also extend the invitation to the board members that if any of their teachers, any of their principals did not think that this resource was valuable or they had some concerns about it, all they had to do was allow us to have a dialogue with them because I know it works. I know it works because I've used it with my own children. In addition to that, it meets the state standards when in terms of the Common Core standards. Well, this evening I brought with me some brochures. And some brochures, I left them back on the table if anybody wants it. And if you can see that in there, it talks about the Learning Express as well as the Mango.
Sir, your few minutes is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Mildred Morgan.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. My name is Mildred Morgan. Most of my comments was going to be towards Ms. I don't know her name, is Limbo, and Mr. Signal. Those are the people that have businesses out here. But since they're not here, maybe I'll just touch base on a few things. Trustee Griffin, I'd like to thank you. Trustee Oscar Brown Jr., I'd like to thank you also for standing up and speaking in behalf and trying to get these people to be, as Trustee Oscar Brown Jr. says, good corporate citizens. I wonder what prompted Ms. Bimbo to come on. Who is Ryan? Okay, Ms. Ryan? Okay. Okay, Ms. Ryan from Bimbo What prompted her to come to this meeting and totally disrespect University Park? What prompted her to come here and talk about our lawyers' fees? That's not a business. That's not her business. What we pay our lawyer, that's her business, our business. I wonder, where was she and what was her concerns when other businesses came here and got 20 and 25-year tips? Didn't hear from her then. So I'd like to know, is it because Ms. Covington and Mr. Payne went over and stirred these people up? Stirred them up and brought them over here, sick them on us just like you sick people on us and on the board, not on us, well on us. Like you sick them on from CCC, Political Action Group, when you people have, wow, we could use that terminology, you people have active duties with this political action group, and this is the mayor and the trustee that send people to attack Trustee Ms. Williams, to attack Mr. Rudez, Mrs. Griffin, and also Mr. Oscar Brown Jr. What is your purpose of being here? Why are you here? The two of you all need to step down. You are a total embarrassment to this village. You only want to bring in total opportunists here to this village to take nothing but full-fledged advantage of us. And Mr. Payton, ear fun, mouth of the South, stop pissing on us and telling us it's raining. Please stop that. Every time you open up your mouth and you state an untruth, I'm bringing the umbrella out.
And your time is up.
I'm bringing the umbrella out. Because I do not, pardon?
Your time is up.
Okay, thank you very much. Keep up the good work, please.
Mrs. Okay, sure. Mr. Payton, want to comment, respond back?
Yeah, thank you.
Got it right.
Okay, well, what's fair is what's fair. You allowed Trustee Williams to comment on Mr. Travis's comment, so I think it's fair for me to comment on some of what Mrs. Morgan had to say. First of all, most of the comments are so that I couldn't comment on. But I will say that, again, and I'll repeat, because that innuendo, if not in fact was stated earlier, that the mayor and I somehow went over to the industrial park to stir up the natives, which, yeah. And Mayor, may I just say this also, that Ms. Morgan complained about the disrespect that Ms. Ryan from Bimba Manufacturing had toward this board, but she in turn right now is being very disrespectful when she's had her opportunity, her 3 minutes to say, and she's interrupted me. So I think that's very, very poor, very, very poor example for our children who she purports to work with to try to make better. But the other piece is that Ms. Ryan came here for two reasons. One, she was not aware of the tax coming because the notices went to the wrong address on 3 occasions. The other thing is that they are not a TIF company. They are an employee-owned company, and that the tax came directly out of each employee's pocket to the tune of $120 a year. So she was representing her constituents, her employees, and Bimba Manufacturing, who has been a good corporate citizen, even Trustee Oscar Brown said that, to this, well, you said Avatar provided scholarship money for our kids. Okay? So, are you done?
Right.
Because you're being so disrespectful. So disrespectful. So, but this is the kind of hypocrisy that I was referring to earlier, where you have people like yourself, Ms. Morgan, who complain about folks disrespecting this board, and then turn around and disrespect this board yourself.
You disrespect.
Right, okay.
Excuse me, could you please not disturb, sir, officer?
Right.
Please have some order.
Right, so,
Chief, we have some order. Chief, get some order.
right. Maybe the chief needs to come hold your hand like he did the last time, sit next to you so you can be respectful for the rest of the, the time that you're here. But again, I had nothing to do with BIMBA or Federal Signal or Avatar coming here to this board. I didn't know what was going on, right? And I don't think that the mayor also would go and tell a company to deliberately violate a law. And if you know that for a fact, then if you were present when that occurred, then you ought to say that. Otherwise, what you're saying is basically nonsense, like some of the other things that you said. So, Mayor, I will just yield the floor back to you.
Some things need not to be spoken to. Some things are just so ridiculously ignorant until they always say, it's my side, your side of truth. And these people had a right to speak of the companies, had nothing to do, and did not go over there, and did not observe it, I did not start CCC, but that's okay, because I will be persecuted for his name's sake. I'll take that hit. When you're in head, you always got something on you always have the arrow on your back, and that's okay, because I'm strong enough to take that. But it's really strange to me that when all those companies are back there, unbeknown to this village, Mr. Lanier has the paperwork. We owe them millions of dollars. Let's keep it real. We hadn't even paid our due diligence to them. Let's put that out there. Mr. Lanier and I went back there and made arrangements to try to pay what we owed them before they sued us. We owe them, and it's out there as public knowledge, we owe them thousands and thousands of dollars. We did not own up to our agreements with them. And yes, maybe they did not, but I didn't hear anybody saying a word. And this legislative committee did not form, and the same four were up here then, except Liz, but she's not a part of it, Trustee Williams. But these same four men were here when Alvin County was here. They didn't form the legislative body then. Wonder why? Audits weren't being done, just things were just held in a basket. But no one said anything. They didn't form their legislative committee then. And nothing was being done, nothing was being paid, nothing was getting accomplished. But now that things are perking up, everybody want a grandstand. Everybody want to make a difference. We want to do it right. Really? Seriously? Why didn't you do it years ago, men? Keep it real. Now the next one, you need to stop it. Excuse me, Chief, I've asked you 3 times. Could you please stop the disturbance in the meeting? It's disrupting the meeting. Stop. Laverne Williams. Please. Yes, next time it'll be a little. That's right. This is ridiculous. You guys?
I was talking to
Okay. Mrs. Murray.
Good morning, Mayor,
Good afternoon.
trustees, attorney, staff, University Park, hello, and other people. Mr. Bell and Mr. Lanier, if you could just do me a favor, if I misunderstood your response in regards to the postings of the job in the industrial park, you will be collecting applications that will match the jobs that the industrial park will inform you of. Can you also expand on that and include the types of jobs that could become available, the types of jobs that are there, so the high schoolers can prepare and maybe go to college to apply for those positions, or retired, or people who are not working can maybe take a class at Governor State or Prairie State so they can consider or prepare to apply for jobs that may become available to them. You can do that. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Oh. And did we find out about the waiting, the truck waiting? Was that situation taken care of? The broken, yes. We could discuss that too. Thank you. The scales for the trucks. The trucks are coming down. Thank you.
What is the question? None of our scales are broken.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. I'm sorry. I thought at the last meeting, the scales to weigh the trucks in regards to getting revenue, that machine or that equipment was broken. And that was why it has not been in use. And I was hoping that maybe it was fixed by this week or this time, because it's been 2 weeks later, and that we are obtaining revenue, and that we are checking the trucks that are illegally driving through University Park. Thank you.
The scales are not broken, the scales are working. There was a personnel problem that is being rectified. That's all I can say over the meeting on this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Ms. Williams that we're in the very early stages of putting all of this together. It's not clear what form it would take, but if you could share with me what you envision as being some of the things we should look at, I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, discussion of agenda, unfinished business, none. New business. First, second, and third reading ordinance correcting typographical error in ordinance number 021013-15, and ordinance establishing a legislative and operating committee for the Village of University Park and amending section 2010-01, standing rules in section 23903, regarding agendas. There was a
So moved.
moved by trustee. Just a second. Moved by trustee Perez. Is there a second? Second. Second by trustee. Questions? Yes, sir.
If I may,
Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to explain what this ordinance is and what it does.
Please.
Okay. As listed on the front sheet, if you look at page 3 of the original ordinance, section 3, it refers to the duties of the clerk as section 230-03. It should be 239-03. So all this does is correct from 230, it's a typographical error. Hit a 0 instead of a 9. The actual section for the clerk is 239.03. And in this previous ordinance, it was 230.03. So that it changes nothing else. It does nothing else except correct the typographical error.
Trustee, on the paper.
Yeah, I've got a question for Attorney Diamond related to this. Since this is an error, and I know how things are in law when people want to try to get out of something, that if there was an error, in this case, the reference to the village clerk prepared the agenda, the technical fact, would that mean that all the agendas that were produced were not legal?
No, it wouldn't have any effect on that. This is simply a would have no effect on anything that was done since then.
Okay, so you're saying that simply because this was in fact the law up until, I expect we'll pass this, it's changed till now, that's what it read, it wouldn't be, affect any of the legislation or the legality of the meetings that were conducted from an agenda standpoint?
No court would hold it.
I didn't ask you for the court.
Well, that's the way the law works. So this is simply a situation where the clerk discovered there was a typographic error, and she doesn't like that, so she would like to make sure that our code is entirely correct. So, but this has no legal effect.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question, follow-up question. Generally, when courts look towards the intent of legislation, don't they look towards the entire phrasing of the document? So in the ordinance, it probably says the clerk shall, and then it refers to a specific ordinance. Wouldn't a court just look to that interpretation and realize that is what the legislator meant at the time when they passed the ordinance?
Yes, that's why I said what I said. But again, I think that in terms of trying to make your records exactly correct, the clerk is right in bringing this to your attention, and this is simply a technical correction, so no one raises the issue later.
Any others? Roll call.
Trustee Williams? Vote aye. Trustee Oscar Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Payne?
Aye.
Trustee Griffin?
Votes aye.
Trustee Rudette?
Votes aye.
Mayor Covington? Mayor Covington?
I'm sorry.
Mayor Covington, I'm sorry, that is ordinance O 2014-28.
First, second, and third reading, ordinance amending section 420-02, speed restrictions of the code, codified ordinance. Is there a motion?
Second.
Moved by trustee Griffin. Is there a second?
Second by trustee Rudez.
Second by trustee Rudez. Is there any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we discussed this matter before regarding Family Dollar, and there were a number of little pieces that the board discussed. And if I remember correctly, a committee was supposed to be convened to come up with a comprehensive solution to the dangers involved with the crossing over at Family Dollar.
That was a safety committee?
Well, it was a committee, the chief was going to gather folks together to see if, some markings or, I think they were talking about a stop sign or a bunch of other things. And we said, well, why don't, you go and take a look at this thing from a comprehensive standpoint rather than this, such as in this case here, just to change the speed. Has that ever been done?
I'll speak to that if you don't mind, Manager Trustee. During a session of the Legislative and Operations Committee meeting with our engineers, Robinson Engineer and the Chief of Police, that was thoroughly discussed. We've had a variety of different safety measures that we can put out, including crosswalks, blinking lights, halt system, and solar systems, which will reduce the speed of traffic, reduce the liability of someone getting hit by crossing the street coming to the Family Dollar. So it has been thoroughly discussed, evaluated, and now we're ready to actually move forward on it.
So is there going to be a report that the rest of the board, that you will share with the rest of the board on what the recommendations are?
Why sure, Trustee? That's no problem whatsoever. But this is a measure that needs to take place immediately because as we all are aware, school is out and children are everywhere and people need to be safe crossing these streets, and reducing the speed limit is a step in the right direction. Step one, and another step to follow as far as putting on lights and signaling and other things.
Yeah, I understand that. I really don't have a problem with that, but I'm just following up on, I didn't realize it was even on the agenda for the Legislative and Operations Committee meeting, so I'd like to see that agenda when that was discussed, and when will we receive a written copy of the conclusions as to what is going to be done as far as this whole issue?
Well, you can ask our manager, and I'm quite sure that we can prepare something that will give you comfort and closure.
Well, you know, I guess I'm just a little, you know, something that's important and really affects the lives of our children, adults as well, that and if we paid money for Robinson Engineering to come in and provide us with, you know, consulting services, their expertise, then I would think that would be important enough to share with everyone. Manager Lanier, do you have anything in writing that you can provide us?
What we do have are the minutes from that meeting, and we can share the minutes from the meeting, the Legislative Operations Committee meeting when it was discussed. We can certainly share those with you. We did not prepare a report to the board. I don't prepare reports to the board of what goes on in committees. We can certainly put together something to kind of summarize what we did learn. We did learn that we're going to make that street a lot safer. One step was to lower the speed limit. Like as Trustee said, we looked at several lighting systems. Currently, they were a little bit out of our price range. We're still looking at them. We looked at painting the crosswalks, and then we're still exploring ways to pay for some of the lighting systems and grants.
Yeah, just as a corollary to that, I noticed in our board packet we had the minutes from the Senior Citizens Committee, which is nice. You know, we used to get minutes all the time. Since the Legislative and Operations Committee is such a important committee, I'm just wondering if the minutes from that body can be included in the future as part of our board packets, so that we can be at least made aware of the things, since we're not all able to attend the meetings, but
Yes.
if we can have those, and if we could start out with all of the minutes to date, that would be great. So it would just bring us all up to speed on where things stand. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay, Trustee, as chairman, I'll make sure that we do a diligent effort to make sure that we can accommodate those things. And I'm going to encourage you to vote yes on this first issue.
I was going to vote yes on that.
Okay.
I was just kind of following up.
Okay, that's fine. No problem.
Excuse me, Mayor. I just wanted to add that this is urgent. We have had an accident in the immediate area, concern, accident with injuries. Could have been a lot worse. Nobody died at this time, but we have the problem with speaking of have already started happening there. So it's imperative that we do something.
So once the speed limit is changed, is it your position that you're going to be more aggressive in enforcing the speed limit? Because it's one thing to just change the speed limit, it's another thing to enforce it.
Absolutely, but surely lowering the speed limit is a great help.
And you know, that is a ruling though, we had last time, minutes. Normally, we are supposed to get committee meeting minutes in our package. Committees are supposed to report, and they're not doing it. The handful we do have left, we have not gotten them, so that should be a part of our package all the time. Any other questions or concerns? Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both sides. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Both sides.
Trustee Rudez.
Both sides.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Mayor Covington, that is ordinance O 2014-29.
And I know Trustee, I would like to, is absent, Trustee Larry Brown has always brought that up as an issue. And I want to thank you for that as well. Excuse me?
I didn't say no.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say. Okay. Don't miss your comment. Okay, first, second, and third reading, ordinance approving the lowest responsible bid quote for the 2 riding mowers, Kawasaki riding mowers, and authorizing purchase of the mowers for the Public Works Department. Is there a proposal? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee, excuse me, just a second, guys. I know you're hurrying. Moved, there a motion.
Trustee Griffin.
Trustee Griffin, is there a second?
Trustee Rudez, second.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Question. I had a question. Why are we going with the Kawasaki over the John Deere?
Kawasaki. You're looking at the price, but overall, the Kelvin powered equipment is local. When it comes to with regards to parts, service, and warranties, it gives us a better fit. It's just a better fit for us.
And are we going to use any current Kawasaki products now over John Deere?
No, actually, we look at the pricing as, well, no, it's not double cost.
One is 15,000 and one is 8.
No, one is,
Yeah,
no,
no,
the cost of 15 and 16, it's about a little over $1,000 difference. You know, I'm looking at the John Deere's American made, Kawasaki. So, is there a particular reason also?
But we got a 2-year warranty. And if you look at John Deere, they go by hours. It won't last 2-year warranty. Basically, after maybe a year and a half, the warranty is up, and we try to get the most bang out of the product.
It actually says 27 months to be recorded, then you say 17.
But was that after receiving and 3 state purchases at the top here, got the turn greatest, and also said Kelvin Power Equipment, this recommendation is based on cost, the location of the dealer in regards in parts, service, and warranty.
Because I'm putting once you agree on the station.
But is it off-site for delivery of parts? Is that the issue? Because I noticed Mr. Gary Townsend's on here too. Is this old one or is this current? That's this. Yeah, it's current. Potential here is current.
Trustee Oscar Brown, when we purchased the John Deere equipment from Creek that year for the one that drags the fields, when parts broke down, we would have to contact a dealership out of state.
That's what I was.
So it's very difficult, and they're local, but it could be small parts we couldn't even get from them. So
How it works better?
yes, sir, I, recommend, what Jerry's doing now, not to even go in that direction, because it is, if you need that part, you have to wait for a company,
Downtown.
to go get it.
Thank you for clarity, Mrs. George.
Thank you. That was my question, and I'll sort some issue. Okay?
Sure. Yeah, I asked this question the last time, and then you were going to come back to us on it as to where, budget-wise, what line item this is coming out of. This was not budgeted for, is that correct?
We did budget for equipment for the Parks and Rec, for Public Works.
Public Works, and how much did we budget?
I don't know the exact budget.
Because I don't recall seeing it.
Budget, yeah. It may be in the capital budget, we did budget equipment.
So do we know, is this coming out of the capital budget, which I know was inadequate, but, given the constraints that we have,
It will come out of the
did it
capital
come out of public,
If it's approved, it will come out of the capital budget.
Say what?
If it is approved, it will come out of the capital budget.
What do you think? Is there money? Is a one-time payment, is it segments or payment plan? What, how much payment? Is it one lump sum?
This is a lump sum.
Okay.
When we put together the capital budget, did we have a list of the items that we needed to purchase, the capital items?
We had a list of items, and we also had costs for items that we have to pay for from the prior year, where we had 2 and 3 year installments.
Okay, so was this then one of the line items in the capital budget? And if so, could I get a copy of that? Because I didn't see it.
Like one as well.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, thank you.
Any others? Roll call.
Trustee Williams? Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Payton?
Aye.
Trustee Griffin?
Votes aye.
Trustee Rudez?
Votes aye.
And Mayor Covington?
Aye.
Mayor Covington, that's ordinance O 2014-30.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a correction. I believe that this was going to be paid for out of the head tax fund. This is going to be paid for out of the head tax fund under trustees approval. I'm not in the ask for.
All right, well, I'd like to see documentation because I got 3 different answers here. First we said it was going to be out of a line item for public works, then we said it's capital budget, and now it's the head tax. So, and then we were told the head tax was going to be part of the general fund.
Right.
Except that in the budget, half of the tax is for special projects. So is this a special project, or is this a capital item? And if so, why is it if it's a capital item, why is it in the capital budget instead of being in the budget for the head tax?
Normally, capital items we pay for out of the capital budget. That's why it would be there. During the budgeting process, it was decided that 50% of the head tax would be used for items requested by the Board of Trustees, and this is one of them. And that's why we're going to pay for it out of the head tax.
That was.
My question is not where will you put it? It's all coming out of our financial resources. The question, Dan, was where was it budgeted for? You said it was budgeted, so where was it budgeted?
Can I address that for a minute, trustee?
Yeah.
I prepared the budget, and at the moment I can't recall exactly what it's budgeted for, but I will speak to this. When we, the capital budget, when we do the levy is submitted like in December, but it doesn't come after that point. We levy for a certain amount of capital improvements, and I'm not sure what's all included in those dollars. As the manager said, we have to pay for the items we purchased in previous years as well in the current year. This may or may not be in the capital budget, but there are maintenance dollars to be spent for when things happen. And as I indicated earlier in the budget process, they're going to be expensive. They're going to be emergency expenses or any kind of expenses. And they may or may not be in the budget, but we have to operate as a village. And I think, and I'm not sure where this is, but I'll be happy to look for it.
Thank you, Manager Jones. Again, I realize that I'm just looking for some straight answers here, okay? Because when we establish a budget, it's based upon something. And if it's leases and a number of other things, we're going to buy a new pickup truck, we're going to buy a new snow plow, we're going to buy a dump truck, whatever, that's part of the budget. If we're going to take the money and from an allocated fund, which I understood was going to be for the Technical Resource Center, if we're taking it from that fund, then that's a different ballgame. It's just where the resources are coming from. What I was looking for is the documentation as to where it was actually budgeted. If it was budgeted. If it was not budgeted and it has to come out of reserve, I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. We need to operate those. I understand that. I'm just asking a simple question for the future, particularly because we have tremendous, as was pointed out earlier by some of the departments, police cars, code enforcement. There are a lot of things, Parks and Rec. There are a lot of things that we need to have as a village, and the future budgets need to reflect some kind of plan to put those together.
I think the proper way to handle that is before we do the levy in December, is determine the capital assets that the village needs, and make sure that we include that in the levy. We all agree about it, and then when the money comes in, we spend it the way we say we're going to spend it. I think it's the proper way of doing it, but we have to do it in December, not in February and March.
And that was the original issue with the industrial park people. When they came and approached us, they said the letter originally did not specify where the money was going. There were no specifications as to what the money was going to spend for. That's why they said what they said. And now we're going to go from the piggy bank to the bank to whatever. It was just thematically it should be done. How we're spending money, where it's coming from. It's just logic and it's good finance, that's all. Okay.
May I just please make a suggestion to the manager and Mr. Jones? When the purchase, and Mr. Dilworth as well, when the purchase is complete, would you please give Trustee Payton the documentation that he's asking for so we can have comfort in his decisions. Thank you.
And I'd like to add that you recall that the board made a motion that if money was going to be used from the head tax, that 50% of the head tax would be like general tax funds, which in fact did not have to be allocated in a particular manner. But the other 50%, which would require board approval, the board needs to know in the future if in fact you intend to pay money out of the 50% that is set up as a special head tax fund. The motion should in the future indicate that the board is in fact authorizing money to be paid out of that fund. So if you finally determine that that's where this money is coming from, the board should know that, and certainly in the future, I would really ask you to include it in the motion.
For the expenditures. Thank you very much, sir. Any other comments? First reading. I'm sorry. It's passed. Oh, it did pass.
One question. Okay, so in the future, because I was wondering if we should amend the motion, but it's too late to do that now, right? Okay.
It was resolution 02014-30. First reading of ordinance amending part 4, title 6 of the codified ordinance of the Village of University Park as amended regarding the use of wireless telephones and electronic communication devices while driving. Is there a motion?
So moved.
By trustee Runes. Is there a second? Second. Second by trustee Griffin. Are there any questions? Questions? This is already a state law, so we're just adopting a certain portion, electronic devices. Now, let me make this very clear to the public as well. I know some people complain that if their phone lights up, some people said they're being stopped because their phone lights up. If the phone lights up, that's not necessarily that they're on the phone. But I hope that our officers understand technology too, that if it lights up, sometimes it rings when it lights up. So that's not them answering the phone or putting it to their head. If they actually see it on your head, that's a problem. Okay, people, that's a problem. So if you have your phone, you have a headset, you're fine. You have a speakerphone, it's fine. If you have a high-technical car, push the button, and you have a Bluetooth, that's fine. But you cannot, people, have the phone to your head. Just want to make that clear to the public. Would you like to add anything else to that, Chief? Okay, thank you. Okay, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Both aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Both aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
That was on the first reading.
Yes. Resolution of authorization, project title, University Park OSLAD, outdoor recreational project. Is there a
So moved.
second by trustee Griffin? Any questions? I have paperwork, I have to sign it, right? Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both aye. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Both aye.
Trustee Rudez.
Both aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Both sides. Thank you, Roger, engineers.
Thank you, Mayor and Board of Trustees.
Not a problem. Work on that part.
Mayor Covington, that is resolution on 2014-12.
2014, what, ma'am?
12.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. Last one, bills payable. Attached for your approval is a listing of the general operating expenses of the Village of University Park and following is a grand total of the everyday expenses for the last 2 weeks from June 11th, 2014 to June 24th, 2014. General operating funds, $289,972.77. Road and bridge funds, $11,652.49. Town center, $392. Golf course, $8,737.65, bringing a total of $310,754.91. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Williams. Is there a second? Councilman Brown, are there any questions?
Question.
Yes, sir. Trustee Griffin?
Check 32290, Morgan Bridge, annual maintenance fee service, 5,700.
Some of the numbers truncated. Here's three, what's the number again?
32290. The bed number would be 2931. Morgan Bridge Associates annual maintenance fee, 5,700. That's the IT expense. Some type of annual maintenance get paid. I really don't know a lot about it, but it's the IT expense.
Okay,
Check numbers 82298 and 82303. They both for stickers. And one for the city stickers, I think one for application.
so, and membership dues, is that, you said 32289?
One for Print King.
Michigan Association?
Yeah. Yes, right. The 2,460 is for the stickers, and I think the application go along with the stickers. Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Yes, sir. Trustee Griffin?
Yes, 32246. This is Ansel Blink Diamond Bush for our legal services fees for $31,375.33. I was wondering for what month that was for. $31,375.33.
That's for April this year.
For April this year? Yeah, we're 90 days behind. Okay. The next one I have a question on is 32248. 32248, which is B&H Photo Video Inc. And it says cams and supplies ordered. Is that for the cable station?
It is.
That's a lot of money, $5,740. Is that for the cameras or what?
That's for the 3 cameras, digital cameras.
Digital cameras? Okay.
That's
And that was budgeted?
That is correct.
Okay. 32252 BTSI. It just says range here for $8,165. I was wondering what that was for. Range. Is that the driving range or? And so it's not a lease, that seemed like a lot of money.
Well, the one for
Yeah.
wondering if that is election.
That is purchased by the police department. I'm really not totally certain about what it is.
$8,165. You know what that is, Chief?
Yeah, we had, it's probably, we're still finishing from the flood. We had some flooding, we had a flood down in the basement over there.
So this BTSI, is that like a construction company or rehab company or something?
Yeah, we're still working on that, so there'll be some additional costs coming.
The next one is 32270, Gartwell Creative promotional flyer for $942. I thought that was a lot for a promotional flyer.
Where is that?
I'll let James Bell address that one, that's for him, I think.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, there were costs associated with the materials that the mayor and the trustees took to Las Vegas at the last recon meeting this past this past month.
requested, I think you took with you flash drives to add information on. You also took with you placards to add that were designed a certain way. So that covered the cost of all of that. That was to assist you in recruiting business to come to University Park.
And the legal work that we handed out to them.
Yes.
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 Check 32276, and I know this is for our refuge services, $102,473.90. Is that for 1 month?
No, 1 quarter.
1 quarter, okay. So I know we've had members, citizens that come up to ask about the refuge piece, and I'm just wondering could you just give me the revenue that we collect for that same period to offset this $102,000?
I don't have a present.
No, I know you don't have it now, but I'm asking if you could at least provide that to the board as to what the revenue is to see what the net is. Are we covering our costs on that? Yes.
Yeah, I want to make sure, because we took that upon ourselves, and we want to make sure everybody's paying their garbage bill, so we can offset that. We shouldn't have to eat that. That's what we're going out paying, and the garbage bills should be current with everyone. No bypasses. Anybody.
Yes. The next one is 32282, JMA Architects for architectural services. Can you fill me in on what that is?
That's for
Those are architects who are updated designs for the Technical Resource Center.
Okay.
that's a design. I thought we had a design before. We're paying an additional $4,000.
Updating the designs. The designs are 78 and very elaborate. I think the paradigm quite a bit, and they were outdated.
Now, where's the money coming from?
Town Center Fund.
Check 32289, the Michigan Association of Planning annual membership dues for L. Bully. What's that?
Those are dues paid on behalf of John Williams for the planning committee.
Huh?
To the Michigan Planning, was that for training?
Oh, yeah. The membership for, I'm pretty sure it's American.
It's probably a bad description, probably should say American planning.
Right.
American, okay.
Right.
I wonder why we were paying Michigan. Okay. All right. And my last ones are 4 of the same vendor, 8230, 9, 10, and 11 for Stanley Peroric. Legal fees for prosecuting law. I was wondering what time period those 4 payments of $2,500 each were.
Those 4 payments were the first 4 months of this year. We received the package, they had all 4 months at one time.
Oh, okay. So that's January through March. April.
One question on that too, do they submit them late, or why, do they submit them late, or they were just paying them late?
No, we just received them all at one time.
And why is that?
I don't know why.
Well, can we ask them to submit them as they get them? I mean, every month they get them submitted. Sometimes this is just a big chunk when they could have gotten paid the $2,500. Why would we sit up here and pay 11,500? It's over $12,000 at once.
Well, yeah, I understand.
That makes
I'm not sure why they sent it that way.
No, we need to just ask them to submit them as every month. Okay, it doesn't make sense.
So they're all even. Is that like a retainer or what?
That's its cost.
That's the prosecutor's monthly fee.
Yeah, okay, all right. So it's the same every month.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's what firm is that?
Stanley.
Stanley Belord.
Okay. Oh, okay, I remember that guy.
That's all I have.
Okay. Oh, I have one here about the clown around. I noticed for family fleeing $5,320. Are they giving us, what all are they giving us for that?
Excuse me, they're giving us a kids zone, carnival activities, climbing wall, one large tent, two small tents, tables and chairs. Probably, yes, ma'am, and probably some other accessories.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Tell Barbara.
I will, and Mitch too.
Yes. Okay, is that it? Any other questions? Okay. Need a second? Do we have a second?
Oh, second, yes, sir.
Oh, you did, okay. Roll call. We had a motion and a second. Okay, roll call. Trustee Williams. Both sides. Trustee Oscar Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin. Trustee Griffin. Bill Melvin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Rodell.
Votes aye.
And Mayor Covington. Aye. Okay, I will ask tonight, because of the weather and the nature of it, that we keep our comments down as we give our audience 3 minutes. And shorter if necessary. Trustee Wood? Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'd like to start off by saying that none of the men that you see up here has disrespected any of the women that I know of up here. And I would like to make that a known fact. Everybody has been nothing but respectful to the women on this board. That's what I have said. I'd just like to make that clear. Also, the GED class will be starting August the 19th. It is every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And that's, like I said, August the 19th. Anybody who has not registered can just call Town Center or the Village Hall and leave your name and number. I'll get back in touch with you. That's all I have today. I'm sorry, what did you say?
She said the phone number.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, where is it?
Five 534-4237. Again, that's 534-4237.
That number is in the newsletter also.
Oh, I forgot one more thing to say. I forgot I was asked that my daughter always goes out of town with me. Yes, she does. Her name is Sharice Williams. I gave her that at birth. And Mayor Covington would appreciate it if you would call her by her name instead of just Trustee Williams' daughter. Also, she pays her own way. The village does not pay anything for her. And I would like that to be known also. Thank you.
Trustee Larry, Oscar Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching the viewing. First, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Keely for doing the work that she did with Menards.
Thank you.
And I would also like to congratulate, it seems like the majority of the directors, but we'll start with our esteemed manager, Lafayette Lanier, our distinguished Chief Edward Bradley, our distinguished Kirk G. Jones, and Keely cheerleaders again, Christelle Allen, Daryl Bolton, for their completion of their training in regards to concealed carry and medical marijuana. I'd also like to congratulate our Deputy Chief Chelios and our restaurant manager, Kane McCullum, for going to find out more about workers' compensation laws and ensuring that they are followed and how to prevent abuses to the system. I want all our staff to keep up the good work. And now I have to comment on some of the things that were said during this board meeting. I will begin with whether or not our mayor stirred up comments with the industrial park. I cannot say for certain or state with absolute certainty that our mayor went there herself to somebody's office and asked them to come to a board meeting. But I can say for certain is that it was an item on the agenda placed there by our mayor. Now, whether or not that constitutes her trying to round and stir things up by giving them a special platform that no citizen that this village has to come and just talk as part of our agenda for an unlimited amount of time as she sees fit, rather than the 3 minutes at public comments that is up for you to decide. The second thing that I must bring up are some of these comments that came from various trustees. I'm not going to dignify a lot of it with a response. I'm just going to end it with that. And I'm going to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. And don't use those fireworks. They are illegal in Illinois. Go to Navy Pier and see the professionals. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd first like to have the University Park community to keep our executive liaison, Jonna Townsend, and her family in your prayers. Her mother and dad are very ill, and she is taking care of them as best she can. So if you could keep her in your prayers, that would be greatly appreciated. I'd also like to just remind everyone that on the 2nd and 4th Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the Concerned Citizens Committee meets. These are volunteers, people that are interested in improving the environment and the direction for University Park. The CCC, as is frequently referred to, and you can attend the meetings right next to PK Pantry on the corner in the strip mall there on Western and University Parkway. They are going to be having a fundraiser in July. I think it's the 26th. Come back with you with a more accurate date at Balmore Racetrack. So they're trying to do good in the hood and have a good time in the meantime. So you can have fun trying to play the horses, and it includes a really nice buffet dinner. And you can have your pictures. There's a bunch of other fringe benefits we get also from it. So please, you can contact the Concerned Citizens Committee, and they will be happy to sell you a ticket for $40. I had a conversation with Chief, our police chief, Bradley, over some issues that one of my clients had experienced over at Thornwood House. And one of the things I would ask the board to consider is that there appeared to be some illegal activity going on in Thornwood House that a number of the residents are very concerned about with drugs there. And I asked him if it would be possible to work with the other communities that have the drug sniffing dogs to come through and to try to help capture these folks that are doing these things. And he indicated to me that there was a cost to that. And I want to make sure that we've investigated, like Will County, if they will supply the dogs to come through periodically to see if there are any illegal substances within the law. But I would ask us that when we have our next budget committee, if we cannot get that resource from either Cook County or from Will County, that we do put some money in the budget that will allow him to pay these other communities that do have a canine patrol with qualified dogs. In the previous meeting, Trustee Oscar Brown Jr. indicated that we disagreed on a number of things, and we do, but he was looking for some common ground for us to help move the village forward. And so, Mr. James Young was nice enough to come forward to talk about the tutoring program for the kids. We ran into some cash flow problems, so we have not been able to finish the Kids Health Club. But the layout of the Kids Health Club includes a homework center. Okay, God bless you. We had a number of people who were willing to serve as tutors for that program. I spoke with Trustee Rudez also about this matter, and I know he was not available here for most of this month, but when we came back from Las Vegas from the International Shopping Center Convention, he indicated that we should get together to see if we can finalize the plan as to what needs to be done to get that completed, because although they're using the equipment at the temporary site, the next site will provide our children with a lot more things to do. So we can get this off our plate, and essentially, Parks and Rec's going to handle it. So we thought we'd bring all the folks to the table: Manager Lanier, Ms. Childress, Trustee Rudez, Oscar, whoever we need to bring to the table, Public Works, to get what needs to be done. There's not a whole lot that needs to be completed, and to see where we can get the resources to get it completed if necessary. So, and then we can have a place where there is some physical tutoring that can go on also. And with the technology that we have today, that's a place where the kids can go into that homework center, get tutored, whether it be electronically or, using some volunteers, and then go and work out, burn off that energy so they don't get out here in the streets and burn it the wrong way. So, now, one final thing is, and I'd just like to comment briefly on Trustee Oscar Brown's comments about the mayor going over to Industrial Park and certain things. She's more than capable of responding to this to herself, but the Denver Manufacturing, as I recall, because it was in our board packet, sent us a letter, because I used, the reference to the letter, one of the attachments that she had in the letter about the city of Chicago eliminating their head tax because it was a negative thing for businesses expanding and even relocating to Chicago. So under Mayor Emanuel, they eliminated that. So she didn't just put that on the agenda. As I recall, Ms. Ryan requested that she come and speak to the board, and as our mayor often does with other folks who have something to say, she put her on the agenda. Okay, and I know Federal Signal and Avatar also had an interest, and these folks talk. It's not just Ms. Ryan that has something to say, it's the other employers over in the industrial park also. And so, and I know they're trying to be corporate citizens, maybe not to the tune of what we would like them to do, but that's where working together we can try to, enhance and foster that. And I know the mayor has laid a lot of the groundwork for that, which is indicated by some of the lights where they were cooperating here. So, I know there's a lot of animosity on this board toward individuals, and we have, we can respect each other to disagree, but we can do it amicably. And just finally, I would like to, again, wish everybody a happy 4th of July, to piggyback on Trustee Oscar Brown and Trustee Rudez's earlier comments. Be safe out here. Watch the drinking and driving, and definitely stay away from the fireworks that can ruin somebody's personal effects or their well-being for life. That's the end of my comments.
Thank you, trustee Griffin.
Good evening, everyone. I was just, I was taken aback. I remember, first of all, what the mayor stated that we never said nothing when previous administration was in. I don't even have to say that most of people know I was the strongest adversary that he had, and it's on the table. So if nobody say nothing, I don't even want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing that. I was the strongest adversary. Amen. But one thing I like about him, he kept decorum. Whether or not you like me or not, and this is for the ones who voted for me and didn't vote for me. What Ms. Ryan did was utterly appalling. It was pathetic. She wouldn't have done it in Tenny Park, Orland Park, Will Netcutt, or anything. She wouldn't have done that. And not one time, you talk about Miss Morgan all the time. Cheat, 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 cheat. Miss Morgan. But you didn't gavel her to order one time. Not one time. Not one time. And I thought it was wrong. We as a board have a right to do the best we can for our residents. What she said reminded me of Sterling of the LA Clippers. She said, we relevant. How in the heck are we relevant? How? Everybody was here except for Joe Davis. He was on a honeymoon with his wife, 25th anniversary. That's fine. But back to this. How are we relevant? I asked a question. How many residents do you have worked at University Park? That's irrelevant. She's telling you your skin is this color. She's telling you you don't matter. That's irrelevant. I asked her in another way. That's irrelevant. So what she's saying to you, you don't matter. That's what she's saying to you. I didn't ask for nothing for me, I asked for you, the resident. How many residents you have, can you do for the resident? That's irrelevant. It's going to take, I'm not making it up. That's what she thinks about you. So my question is, how many more like that thinks the same way about you, the resident? They won't hire us. We need street lights, roads fixed, and everything else. So, okay. Head tax. She still wouldn't have talked to them other board members in other towns like she did us. That's the way that they think they can talk to the University Park. That's how they think they can talk to us, just like say anything they want, do anything they want, talk to us any kind of way. We're supposed to accept it. No, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting it. No. She wants to know about our attorney fees. You need to get your attorney, but that ain't none of your business what we pay our attorney. You're not hiring nobody over there. Making every excuse. And if you look at the tape, only hire qualified. Don't look at me. I mean, look at the tape. It's on tape what she said. I'm not making it up. So we, like I said before, we got all these qualified, educated people out here, but none of them are educated enough to work at Bentley and them other places. Really. Really. I do know for a fact, I do know for a fact our mayor has been over there talking to them. I do know that. that. Now, whether or not she asked her to come here, I don't know about that. But I know she's been talking to nobody. And I think it's wrong to go behind your board. You wonder why you have so much trouble with your board. That's why. You got men and women up here on the board. To get respect, you got to give it. I would disrespect you. I can look at you sometime and just shake my head and just walk away. How you do, the things you do, the things you say. And at the last meeting, you had CCC members in the audience clapping for this lady who's disrespecting the residents. How are you clapping for somebody who won't hire your grandson or your great-grandson or whatever? What exactly are you clapping for? You know, why? She telling you you irrelevant. You don't matter. And y'all going to town. Well, again, whether you voted for me, you didn't vote for me, I think my town is relevant. And I'm not going to let her or any so-and-so body else come up here with that 369, that bull coming up here with it. I don't care who did. Yes, we needed the funds, we put a head tax in. I'm proud of it, I'm glad of it. We're going to use it to do. I just want to say, in closing to my attorney, hey, you get what you pay for. I thank you for being here, for giving us guidance, for going over stuff. You know, we were in a pickle. When we got this attorney here, everything was messed up. He straightened us out, showing us how to do things in a more efficient and fruitful way. And it cost. One thing about him, he doesn't put his ego or anything else in the way. Whatever we ask him, he answers the question, and that's it. It ain't, well, do this, do that. No, this is how I should do. This is what this means. This is what this means. This is what I drafted. It's up to you what you want. It wasn't like that with other things. It costs a little more, okay. But you get what you pay for. We had others before. Before him said he was a parliamentarian, he didn't know anything. And we got stuck into it. I just want to say in closing, everyone have a happy 4th of July and a safe happy 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Ruth.
It's hard to come behind such a passionate legislator who's really speaking and advocating on the purpose of our expense tax, which is actually going to be beneficial for our overall community in the long run. Fortunately, I was absent at that meeting. As you said, I was out celebrating my 25th year wedding anniversary, and I didn't have the opportunity to attend that meeting. But I do support the employer's expense head tax, which in the long run will benefit the overall residents, because I do refuse to participate in anything that will put more tax burden on our residents. What we're trying to do is alleviate the tax burden of our residents. Now, and I'm through with that because I didn't have the opportunity to sit in such a session. But I would not have sat still and let anyone talk to us any kind of way. There has to be a limit to everything negative. Because now it's not about negativity, it's about positivity. It's about moving our community forward in a positive direction. And yes, change may be difficult, but it's necessary. And everybody who says they want change don't really want it, because there are going to be some things that might seem a little sticky or unfair, but it's all done in the best interest of not just our community, but the region. We must start at University Park. It's not just our little small town, but this is a regional effect that it has. There's so much going on in this region. I-57 project, Ileana Expressway, the third airport. There's opportunities coming through our town, and we have the opportunity to be pioneers and give direction on which way our community can go. So that's all a part of it. But as a legislator, like most legislators, I know to put people to work is a very important thing, to making sure that our residents are skilled and have the qualifications necessary to transition into some of the employment opportunities in our industrial park. As we move further into this venture, I'm quite sure that we'll call those guys back to the table and have an opportunity to negotiate, because the whole thing is about having an opportunity for our residents to have fair, equal opportunity for employment opportunities closer to home. And as most legislators say, hey, I gotta put my people to work, because a happy community is a healthy working community. And I know for a fact, I have residents, my neighbors in University Park, drive from here to Rosemont every day for employment, when there's the same jobs are in our vicinity. So those are some of the things as legislators that we work on. But I'm gonna encourage you guys, there's a very, very important election coming up in November, and there's a very important referendum, and I'm gonna ask each and every one to support, and that is raising the minimum wage to $10. It's very hard for families nowadays to make it on just the bare minimum wage. So I'm just encouraging everyone to come out and go to the polls, if nothing else for that particular reason, to vote to pass the raise the minimum wage to a living wage. And please support the referendum. It's vitally important. It's hard for families out there nowadays, and if we can get a little bump to raise our minimum wage from $8.25, I think it is in Illinois, to $10, I think it's a great help. So I'm just encouraging everybody to keep that in the back of their mind. It's important, and just go out to the polls in November. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy, safe, and prosperous 4th of July. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Sir. Okay, I really appreciate Trustee Rudez and everyone else's comments tonight. The Resource Center, right now, until we get ours, or if it ever comes to fruition, per state has everything you need. And they have partnered with Industrial Park. And the people that go back there, I asked a question a long time ago, what are you doing to get the people qualified? Now, where I work, where he works, where everybody else works, I'm sure when you go to a job, I cannot be a police officer because I don't have the qualifications. And I'm going to protest them because I can't work for you. We have to be logical and reasonable of the people as well. And Bimba has people of color back there, quite a few. Now, if Bimba, like she said, they were here 40 years, they leave and the money's gone. We've already lost 1, 2. I think this one is getting ready to go to Tennessee. Now, when they leave, you ask the question. They're paying, I think she made a statement, she's paying $120,000, I'm not sure, her taxes. After she pulls that, those taxes doesn't come to us, who's going to take that? Who's going to make that up, people? If we continuously take, if they leave, that's money we do not receive. Do the math. And as far as, you know, I didn't know there was a magnetic or some type of computer chip in me, and everybody has a GSI on me or whatever. I didn't know that, but, you know, be careful what you're saying, because I wasn't there. I did not go back there. You sent the letter, and they came to me. What is this? And I sent the letter letting them know I had no knowledge of it. They put it on. Mr. Red signed it on my letterhead. Mr. Lanier, I guess, worked with them on it. And they sent it back to all the developers back there. I had no knowledge of it. That was the first thing. The second thing, then I have to defend something I had no knowledge of? Seriously? That's disrespect. That's disrespect. Trustees, that's disrespect to me. And that was very disrespectful. And as far as that lady coming here, she asked the question, she said, Mayor, you don't have my address. She said she didn't get the letter, and she came up here, and yes, she was upset. And the prices that we're putting on them, not $4 like Chicago, which ours is 20, I think. The one they're putting is 20. So that's a great impact to her employees. She was speaking for them as well. And I understand that, and I know there's a better way we can work with people. It doesn't have to be so adversarial. We do not have to come like crazy to people. We started off like Our previous administration started that, having business after hours. It was a great venture. It was great to do that. So I thought we would do it. Mr. Mayor and I, at that time, we was working with you very well. We got together and made an understanding that we would have a private-corporate partnership, and that's when the lights came on. That's when we got the lights. The second thing, we said each year, since you cannot hire the people, if they're not qualified, you can't get them back there, we would get a project for you to do every year. They said, fine. We sent some wood, came from, I asked them, what are you doing with this wood? And I said, can you do something or donate wood? That was Blue Link. They said, fine. I don't know at what point that they weren't cooperative, but I think we could have sat down and made something better rather than attack them as that. And not to mention, they did send a letter or information to our scholarship. Remember, they're my babies. We're talking about we're helping the kids. They stopped making donations to the scholarship. Those children were getting $500 a piece. They were, and continuing students were getting it as well, so they will no longer get that. So I hope they're happy about that part. And we're excuse me, I didn't get the joke. Okay. That's not funny to me. That again is disrespect. As far as the qualified people, we have to be qualified to go back and get a job. We just can't tell someone, you hire me, and if I don't, I'm going to walk down the street against you. Come on, people. Let's be reasonable. Excuse me, sir. I did not interrupt you, Mr. Lynn. I would appreciate the same respect they respect. As far as respect, this board has gotten up when I've had meetings and asked, Mom, can I pee? Walk when I'm talking. Dismiss themselves, have conversations as they're doing now. That goes on continuously, but that's respect. See, if somebody wasn't raised right. As far as the public-private partnerships, again, we did do that. But people qualify positions, I can't say that enough, and I hope you do register with this bank and show your qualifications, and when they have openings, please do that. And as far as the airport in Ileana, I have not missed 1 minute, not 1 minute of meetings with Ileana. I didn't see some of these trustees. The airport projects, I was there every time. I have been walking since, I have not even come to closure about my daughter's death, walking for this village. I have put University Park on this map. I attend 99% of everything in this village, in the South Suburb area. Out metropolitan mayors, South Suburban mayors, national mayors. And I really thank God for the position that I was appointed to. Excuse me, sir. Respect. I thank God for the appointment that I got nationally. And they saw my qualifications and they felt that I could represent University Park. The new mayors that I met, the mayor in the last primary that was won in Washington, D.C. is a female. She will be the mayor of Washington, D.C., of African-American mayor. There will be a new one in New York, Connecticut. So they saw fit that I was qualified for that. And as far as speaking down, we have engineers. And the reason why we didn't have that road done since 1996, they said they felt that we didn't need it. You should respect. The auditors we had, they didn't do the audit since 2008. And they kept charging us thousands of dollars. We never got any results. Nobody raised hand about that. Our lawyer, I respect you very much, sir. He made the statement that we need a reality show. Respect. We should. He said, children. He said, you should have your own reality show. Why he's talking to you. That's disgraceful. I don't look at them. I do not entertain them. Because they're demeaning. They're disgraceful. But that's his opinion of us. Chill. Why you talking? So, when you're doing good in the hood, you always have a target on your back. When you're not doing a doggone thing, nobody's going to say anything. And as Trustee Ruda said so beautifully, change. People don't want to change, they want to exchange. I've been penalized because I'm not doing what they want me to do. I refuse, and I'll say it again, never said it for a while, I'm not going to jail for nobody. If it's not right, the moment you
feeling okay, baby? You're moaning quite a bit. I want to make sure, or you think you're church. So, with that said, everyone, we can work together. If you really have the same agenda, that you want to do something, you really want to do something, we can work together. There's no such thing, and as far as, if you look at television, you'll see a lot of communities protesting. If they don't want something, the community gets together and they make it happen. I saw on the television a woman had some birds in her backyard, and they were pissed off. And the community got together, the residents, and they made sure that woman's birdhouse came down. People do that. CCC do that. That's what that's all about. People are tired of the rhetoric. They're tired of being misused. They're tired of high taxes. They're tired of crime. They're tired of the bad politics. It's got to stop. It's politics. Be very careful. And as far as the 4 trustees that got together and did this, I think it's ludicrous. I mean, if this is a committee and you're going to do some good work, if you really read the definition of legislative committee policies, they usually come together, do something, and bring it back to the board to work it out. But that's not what's happening. They're trying to overthrow and usurp my authorities with the help of the attorney. Now, he's doing it. They're asking me questions they've never before. And I said it again, and I'll say it always. Why did these same 4 form that committee before? Things weren't getting done right. That was okay. Nobody had a problem. Now that things are getting out there, and we are now, say it again, we are a diamond in the rough. We're doing so many great things. There's so many things we can do. Please put all of this personal stuff and this glory, whatever you want to do, aside, and please work. I've had retreats with them, just don't want to do it. It's not about anyone's management strategies, because I've graduated from a lot of management classes and leadership, and I rank high, above average, and I have statistics to show it. So, it's not about that. It's you don't want to work. You don't want to see it. And it's hurting our residents. That's what's really bothering the residents. They're scared to death. Sitting up here, we're doing all this, just forget it. Let's make it happen, do it, and it's over with. But no, that can't happen. It's not about I'm not doing anything wrong. It's the whole group of us that's wrong. We need to get it done. I've asked them repeatedly. Let's just work it out. Let's make things happen. It can work, but people want to run stuff. They're mad because they aren't here in this seat, so they're not going to work. It's not going to happen. So with that said, I wish you would really pay attention. These things that I talked to Tony Perkwinkle and Commissioner Sims Saturday morning at 8:30. I'm getting up at 8:30, leaving my house all the time. I was in Joliet yesterday. And they were happy that we finally stopped boycotting the board meeting and came and did the ordinance on the $400,000. They're giving us $400,000, and we're not even here to sign it. Seriously? Because of things that I'm sitting on, I'm looking at money, I'm finding money, and I'm bringing it here. Mr. Lanier and the board is working on bringing people here, businesses here. It's not one individual. See, we need to stop that because it takes the whole board to do everything. I can't do anything independently. It takes the full board, people, not one person. And it's strange how when things are not happening, nobody comes to the vote. When everything's popping up, everybody's grandstanding. I'm loving it, and I'm used to it. That's okay, because I know what I'm doing, and God knows what I'm doing. So I hope that you pay very close attention to the elections, because what was told to me when I was in the meeting Saturday morning with the other mayors, thank you, clerk, here you are, that if we do not vote and be seriously voting, they could care less about you. If your town has 7,000 people, you have 200 people voting, so what? They'll run all over you. We got to get out here and make a sound for ourselves. We got to make a name for ourselves. We've got to be important and people pay attention to you. Please, people, it's not about us. It's about what we can do together. God bless each and every one of you, and tell your wife, your mother-in-law's well, and be safe, and be careful, and be wise, and know fact and not fiction. I'm asking for the board to be adjourned. Is there a motion?
So moved.